My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and the grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. There is a common phrase in English, at least where I grew up, which is, "It's the thought that counts." And many times in my life, I've heard people criticize that idea. And I myself have done so, for sure. Saying that what really counts is the action or the deed. Results. Did you do it or not? Not so much the thought that counts, but it's the deed or the action that counts. Did you get the results that you're supposed to get? And there's something to be said about the importance of putting good thoughts into action. For example, maybe I thought of being generous with this person by spending time with them, but then I didn't really do it. I didn't put it into action. In this case, we see, that thought didn't amount to very much. You didn't do it. You thought of doing it, and that's a nice thought, but you didn't do it. And maybe there's a good reason for not having done it, but that's what you have to see. And if it was out of laziness, I say, that's too bad, You didn't do it. And it's here that I think that I should probably correct myself about how I've interpreted this phrase. It seems more fitting, perhaps, that the meaning could be something else. Rather than the word thought, we could use maybe, or it could take on the meaning of intention. So the thought or the intention that led me to do the action that I did. So it is the intention that counts. That's another possible meaning to this phrase. And this is where, if we adopt this meaning, this is where the phrase takes on great and serious meaning. Something that merits reflection and dialogue with Jesus. Because an action in itself can be externally labeled as good. For example, taking out the garbage for my neighbor, right? But actually, what really makes the action good, especially for the person who did it, right? If I take out the garbage for my neighbor, what really matters is, why did I do it? The intention with which I did it. It may seem like a silly issue, but it is not. It's not a silly issue at all. Because yes, there can be different motives, some good, some not so good, that lead me to do an action like that, right? A good act like that. Taking out the garbage for someone is a good thing. But my motives might not be good. Let's think of a good motive. The good motive would be out of a spirit of service. I want to make life a bit easier for my neighbor. I can even do it out of love for God. Well, that's wonderful. Those are very good intentions. Those are great intentions. That's imitating Christ. But a possible not so good motive that can sneak its way in there is, I want to look good. I want my neighbor to have a good opinion of me. And if that is the only motive for why I take out my neighbor's garbage, then sadly, that seemingly good act of taking out the garbage is actually an act of vanity. I'm not growing in virtue at all, but rather in vanity. Thinking of the other's opinion of me. Thinking also of my own opinion of myself, right? Look at me, I'm so good. I took out the garbage for my neighbor. Or I'm sure he thinks good of me. And we take pleasure in that. But actually, that's pure vanity. There's no virtue there. And this is a really big theme for our lives. The why. Why do I do what I do? Yes, many of the things, most of the things probably that I do, but besides the sins, of course, but there are a lot of good things that we do. But it's important to look at the why. And this is very much related to my happiness, because I can do good things with not so great intentions. Or I can do good things out of habit. Or I can do good things because I'm supposed to do them and that's all. Or I can do good things because, yes, I want others to have a good opinion of me. But I'm really not growing in virtue or in happiness or love of God or love of my neighbor if I don't fix that intention. And the great thing is, we can correct our intention at any time, even after I did the deed, whatever it was. We could look at ourselves and see, wow, I did those things because I wanted to look good. And then we turn to Jesus and say, Jesus, I wanted to have done those things for you, out of love for you. And just like that, we've corrected or rectified our intention. And this impacts our soul, and it pleases God, and it will help us in our future actions. So Jesus, we see over and over again in your life, in the Gospels, that the heart is what most interests you. Yes, what people do, but more importantly, the why. You praised the widow who put just a couple of coins in the treasury, not because it was a lot of money. It wasn't. 2 coins is very little. But rather, you praise her because it was all she had. She was being totally generous. True generosity from the heart. And that won you over. You loved that. Or when you say, Lord, everyone who looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. No external act has been done, right? Adultery hasn't been committed externally, but the intention, the desire, it was consented to. And that's sinful, and that's an offense against you. Or Jesus, you yourself, you quote the prophet Isaiah saying, this people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. So just saying prayers isn't enough. Why do I say it? Do I mean it? Do I put my heart into it? And this is a great kind of world to discover, that I can correct, I can rectify my intention at any time, before, during, after. And to do it as much as possible. Our Lord loves it. And we'll grow in joy. We'll grow in love of God. We'll grow in love of neighbor. Jesus, I want to do it for you. So we can say the thought really does count. Right? The intention really does count. Why did I do what I did? Why did I do what I did? So let's try to reflect through examination of conscience. Why do we do what we do? Like today, the things I've done today, why did I do them? Why am I doing this time of prayer? Am I doing it because I'm looking for some kind of good feelings? Okay, good feelings aren't bad, but that shouldn't be the reason why I do it. I do it because I want to talk to Jesus. I want to see what his will might be for me. And we want to try to tell him that many times. Jesus, today I spent some time in prayer for you. Today I want to do my work for love of you. Today I want to take care of the kids and make them lunch for love of you. Today I got home on time for dinner for love of you and for love of my family. And the more we do this, the better our actions will be, because we are conscientiously deciding why I do them. And I'm not doing them just because I got to or because that's what's expected of me. It's because I want to please God. And I want to serve my neighbor or my family. And I want to make life easier for them. Our Lord loves this because we're giving him our heart. We're loving him. And we know that his mother Mary was constantly doing everything out of love for Jesus. It's easy to imagine, right? Her life at home, her work at home was all for Jesus. Also for her husband, St. Joseph. The cleanliness in the house, the preparation of the meals, whatever it is that she did, the intention was clearly for our Lord. St. Joseph acted in the same way. Everything he did for Jesus, for Mary. So we finish our prayer asking our Holy Mother Mary and St. Joseph to help us do what we do out of love for Jesus and out of love for others, and to help us rectify, to correct our intention as often as necessary. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations that you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help to put them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.